Over 40,000 kilometers through 16 countries. That is what it has taken us to nearly reach the end of the world. It's an understatement to say we've seen some things. From Chilean Patagonia, we're entering back into Argentina to see Argentinian Patagonia. What we're about to see will make you think we're in a simulation. It's about to get spectacular, so buckle up and let's roam. Some roads don't simply exist on a map. They live in your mind, calling to you in your sleep, filling your thoughts at work. The Pan American Highway, a road spanning the length of North and South America, a 30,000-kilometer road trip through more than 15 countries, is that road for us. Life to us is nothing more than a collection of moments, and we want to fill our moments with adventure. So for 18 months, we'll be driving south from Chaltén, Canada, all the way to Washougal, Argentina. From the Arctic to the Andes, through deserts, jungles, and the unknown, we'll live and wander in our self-built adventure-mobile, seeking stories, chasing landscapes, and redefining what it means to us to be modern-day explorers. This is our journey. I woke up this morning after a sleepless night, the van being shaken around like a rag doll in the wind, and the first thought that crossed my mind was, I don't want to do this anymore. It's been nearly 2 years on the road, 2 years of constant motion, of perpetual travel with surprisingly little rest. It's entirely self-inflicted, no one's fault but our own, but that doesn't make the weight of it any lighter. That's simply where I'm at now. Feeling completely spent. This might land as a bit of a truth bomb, but it is the truth. Long-term overland travel lives in a constant tension between yes and no. Yes, I want to be here, to absorb it all, to live fully inside these moments. And no, I'm tired. I miss family and friends. I don't want to fix the van again. I crave familiarity, ease, and comfort. It's been amazing, incredible, even astounding, and at the same time, rough, demanding, and long. We've loved it, and we've sometimes hated it. Maybe this challenges the way you imagine a journey like this. Maybe it doesn't fit the rose-colored version of the story. It may not be your reality if you were to do a trip like this, but it is ours, and it's a reality worth telling. We spent a couple of nights tucked in beside Lago Posadas, giving ourselves a moment to settle back into a new country and catch up on some work. Ahead of us is a 6-hour drive to our first destination on this return to Argentina, El Chaltén. The van has been running reasonably well, but after 2.5 weeks of relentless gravel roads, new vibrations, rattles, clunks, and clanks have joined the chorus inside our rolling home. It feels a bit like we're driving on borrowed time, as if the next repair is waiting just around the corner. We can't know for sure, but it's a feeling we've come to know all too well. On our drive south today, we had an argument. The frequency of these moments, the fights, the check-ins, the need to circle back and repair has been increasing. I think we're both feeling the weight of being on the road for so long. Today's disagreement didn't really resolve itself. It was simply left to linger, a small fracture waiting for either time or maybe a minor crisis to force it into clarity so life can move forward again.
You see that nice big wet spot right there?
We literally just got to camp, shut off the engine, and went in front of the van. I heard some kind of liquid hitting the ground, and looked underneath the van. Long story short, we're pretty sure that our water pump just failed. Yeah, we're like 150k from El Chaltén right now. We came out into the middle of the desert, parked in this very nice gravel pit, which we were uncertain if we can get out of, just to get out of the wind. And water pump failed. So the only silver lining is that we have about 2.5 jugs of coolant on board with us. We've also got like roughly 40 liters of water left on board, so we might be able to limp to El Chaltén, but we're in Argentina now. Like, it's hard getting stuff in Argentina. It's pretty expensive. Like, the taxes are really high and import fees and all that stuff. So we don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll try and keep this store going as long as we can and let you guys know what's happening. This is just one of those things that's a total kick in the nuts. Like, we're so close to the end. All right. From there, we did the only thing we could do. We went to sleep and gave our new circumstances a little bit of time. Well, hello and good morning from a gravel pit in the middle of nowhere. It's been a few hours since, we realized our breakdown. We're making a little bit of progress on a solution, but it's going to mean that we are stuck in this area for probably about 2 weeks. There's coolant coming out of the weep hole in the water pump, which is common failure. Before Meg and I met, Meg replaced the water pump in this van, and so in the back of my head, I just assumed it was good.
It was so hard to leave for this trip. Like, there were so many moving parts, and we had ordered so many replacement parts. Alex had replaced like every part in the van, and we just figured like the starter and the water pump I had replaced before I met him. Those are the two things that failed on me while I was traveling solo. And so we just figured.
Since we met each other and started traveling the van, we have done well over 100,000 K. And that is kind of like the lifespan of a water pump and the lifespan of a starter. And we just didn't factor that in. Hence the reason we didn't replace both those things prior to leaving on this trip. I know that right now there's some people out there that are just literally itching to put into the comments that they carry all of these spares. Yeah, we know, and it doesn't help us right now. We didn't leave with those spares, so we're having to order them. And thank heavens Amazon exists, because we can actually get parts shipped from Amazon to Chile or Argentina, and receive them within like 2 weeks or so. So what we're doing is we're shipping a water pump and thermostat to Punta Arenas, where we have already shipped a new wheel bearing, a new IAC, and a few other little things that have broken.
Our Starlink cable, namely.
Yeah, those things have broken in the background, behind the scenes. But now the same place is going to get our water pump and thermostat, and we're either going to get someone to bring it up to us, or we're going to take a bus into Chile, go pick it up, and then come back to El Calafate, where we're likely to be stranded for the next 2 weeks. So
we're pretty confident we can get somebody to pick it up and bring it to us, or at least meet us at the border at Puerto Natales, which would be great too. So
anyway, needless to say, this video is going to be slightly different from a lot of our other ones. Yeah, that's all for now. All right, so a little piece of subtle irony, but also a silver lining. We've been carrying 2.5 jugs of GM coolant since our breakdown in Lima when we had seeming radiator issues. I bought too much coolant at one store, couldn't return it, so we've just been carrying this, wondering what the heck we're gonna do with it. So now we have genuine coolant to get us to El Chaltén.
So we're also in this gravel pit, and last night we drove in here and we're like coming down into the pit, and I'm like, Alex, are you sure we're not going to get stuck in here? And sure enough, we're slightly stuck. We aired down it's just really loose. It's just like sand almost. So it's going to be fine. We aired down the tires and we've put out the max tracks, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to just scoot on out of this gravel pit.
Looks like we haven't lost too much coolant, which is good. I think we caught it literally right as it happened yesterday. And the plan going forward from here is just keep the radiator topped up until we can get to El Chaltén. So fingers crossed.
We have our fingers and toes crossed that we did catch this right as it happened, because our mechanic friends have told us that we probably still have a little bit of life left in it, if that's true. And we actually have quite the drive to get to El Chaltén. We have about 230 kilometers to get there. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Worst case scenario, we need to get a tow, and the tow shouldn't be too bad because we aren't super duper far. So there's always that.
Something we've learned well during our time on the road is how to handle these situations with as much joy and laughter as we can muster. We grab at every silver lining we can and stay focused on the solution. It's not going to suck forever, just until it doesn't anymore.
Oh my gosh, we got out. I actually had to do all the heavy lifting in that one. Repositioning the max traction's troubling. I got one small war wound, but we're out of that stupid tiny little gravel pit. I told Alex, next time you listen to your wife. I told us not to go in there last night.
Degrees. We're good.
Okay.
All
no
right.
leakage, no overheating on that little mission of ours. So let's see how far we can go.
It's definitely leaking. I can see the drops coming out, but
no.
It's not leaking as fast as if it was stopped. According to our friend Airalo, the centrifugal force actually keeps the liquid in for the most part, so that's why we figure we can limp all the way to El Chaltén, but another adventure from the slow roamers. You're welcome. And then we were suddenly and quickly approaching a moment we had looked forward to for oh so very long, the long approach into El Chaltén. Looking to the horizon, we spotted our new neighbor for the upcoming week or so, peeking over the hill. Hello there, Fitz Roy.
Well, we just found something special.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Something else is broken.
Something else is broken. That's not special. All right, let's go find it. Pretty sure this is where they got engaged.
Pretty sure. What do you mean? This is where they got engaged.
This is where they got engaged.
With the memory of our friends and the joyous moments they shared here, we moved on towards El Chaltén and the glorious view of Mount Fitz Roy and Cerro Torres in the distance. Although it was right there out ahead of us, our minds simply couldn't come to the conclusion that it was real, that the moment was truly happening to us.
What is going on here?
We made it!
Well, we're walking for El Chaltén. Got Fitzy over there. What's up, Fitzy?
But of course, the first thing we do is get pizza. And the beer is coming. Oh yeah.
Well, this happened.
Oops.
Ice cream.
Well, now that we have a little bit more time on our hands, it's a perfect opportunity to get back to our Spanish lessons.
Because when you're broken down in Patagonia, you either panic or you conjugate verbs.
And that is where the sponsor of this video comes in, Babbel. Babbel is a world-class language learning app and a total game changer in this situation. Just being able to interact with locals when we're ordering parts or trying to find a shipping location really comes in handy.
Even small things here in town, like asking for cafe recommendations or chatting with locals, feel genuine. Unlike using Google Translate for exchanges.
Exactly. Just having a few key phrases in your back pocket totally makes your interactions feel like that much more authentic and natural and more memorable.
And if you're unsure, Babbel offers a 14-day money-back guarantee, so there's really no risk to trying it out.
So, if you've been putting off learning a language, or you're also broken down in Latin America, take this as a sign.
Get 55% off your subscription by clicking the link in the description below or scanning the QR code.
Learn the language,
Fix the van.
hopefully do it in that order. All right, let's get back to hiking. The next day was our first hike day, and as usual, we were about to throw ourselves headfirst into another physically demanding hike after days upon days of seat time. Classic slow roamer style.
All right, well, we're on trail finally. Far later in the day than we should be, especially considering this is going to be the longest hike that we've ever done. We're doing, yeah, for sure. 22 kilometers with 700 meters gain. And we figured that we're going to be on trail for about 7 to 8 hours or something like that. So
We'll let you know when we finish.
yeah, fingers crossed we don't die. Let's go.
Welcome to the yes side of our life dichotomy. This is the part that makes the hardship make sense, that gives weight to every challenge and sleepless night. It's why we choose a life with less comfort and more uncertainty. We may technically be broken down, waiting on parts, but we're broken down here. And if there's one truth this road keeps teaching us, it's this. Big risks carry big rewards, and we're staking it all on a life of adventure.
That's wild.
Well, that's about the most gosh dang darn it gorgeous thing I've ever darn did see. Holy moly. All right, upwards and onwards, let's go.
It's easy to let everything else fall away when your world shrinks to the rhythm of each step. With Fitz Roy rising sharply ahead of us, every meter closer left us more awestruck than the last. The half-broken van slipped our minds, the worries of what lay ahead went quiet, and there was only the mountain and the peace it carried.
You know, I gotta wonder, like, how much Fitz Roy content is too much Fitz Roy content? Or nor, you got peanut butter.
On my ham and cheese.
Oh no. Cheers.
Maybe we should title this video Fitz Roy. What do you guys think? Should we just call it Fitz Roy? Rock stew, do. All I really want a rock stew, do. There's just so much detail everywhere. Like, that mountain over there is completely different from these guys.
Yeah. Well, that was the most excellent time spent at Lago Sucia.
We're at 14 kilometers, so the day is going to be 28, and that is frightening.
So I was very correct that this is the longest hike that we have done.
But you thought it was 22 at the first.
Yeah,
at the
that's
start,
true,
so.
but it turns out it's a lot more.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's go get beer.
Yeah.
This right here is post hike fuel. Yeah, baby, let's do it.
Well, we've made it back home. How many kilometers, babe?
28
28K.
and just about 1,000 meters gain.
I don't think my legs have ever felt more wrecked than they do right now.
Hello, little friend.
Oh,
Hello, you little mangy thing.
there's a dog. That's a cute dog. Tomorrow's a rest day, and then the next day after that, we try for Laguna Torres.
If the weather's good.
Yeah, if the weather's good. So we'll see what happens.
Over the following days, we waited in the van as wind attempted to lift us off the ground and dark clouds and rain passed over Fitz Roy and Torres. We got out briefly for a hike to Mirador Condores, and when again the clouds lifted and wind settled, we made our way to Laguna Torres. Having started with a 28-kilometer hike seemed to have worked in our favor because everything after that felt relatively easy. The town of El Chaltén provided us with plenty of options to fill our calorie deficit with delicious craft beer, pizza, and burger offerings. 6 days leisurely passed us by as we settled into our existence of waiting for parts with nowhere else to go. I think the mix of physical activity, excellent food and drink, and a myriad of interactions with fellow travelers went a long way in settling our travel-weary minds and hearts that met us at the beginning of this week.
Time to post-hike carbo.
Pig out.
All right, we're back on trail. Had a rest day yesterday. Today we're doing a hike. I can't pronounce the name, honestly, it's a mouthful, but it's got a great view of both Cerro Torres and Fitz Roy. And it's like 1,100 meters gain, 22 kilometers around. It's gonna be a good one as our last hike here in El Chaltén. What do you think, babe? Phew! Do it.
Our plan had been to attempt to make our way to El Calafate a little earlier, but with a weather window coming, we extended our stay in El Chaltén with hopes of catching one last angle of the mass of monoliths we had stayed at the base of for 6 days previous. It turns out our wait was not in vain.
folks, for all this lack of drone footage, but we're in a national park and we're not allowed to fly those. So you just get still images with my voice, my sweet and sultry voice in the background. You're welcome. Well, we've both kind of decided that this is our favorite hike so far. The previous two hikes were pretty radical, but I mean, look at that view. It's a pretty spectacular view. Sitting here like a couple nerds with our dresses because we decided to wear shorts, but it's actually a pretty cold day.
The wind chill is for a reason.
Yeah. So this is our last hike. Tomorrow we see if we can make it to Calafate. Let's go, dudes. The metal gods must be appeased. Let's do it.
Way to go, hon.
Thank you. So that right there is a condor. And we have actually seen quite a few of them. We just haven't managed to get them on camera.
They're humongous.
Oh, that's a hiccup. And welcome back to the van. We just got back, turned on Starlink, and found out what?
The water pump arrives 10 days early.
10 days early.
What?
So that is fantastic. That might be a quick resolution to our issue if we can make it to Punta Arenas without any issues. So, yeah, we're still going to El Calafate tomorrow, and then Perito, Moreno. And then after that, if we still have no issues, then we'll boogie on to Chile and go fix our van.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Alrighty, today is the day. Betty has been shut off for 7 days. We haven't lost any coolant, and we're gonna try for the 3-hour drive to El Calafate. And once we get there, if we haven't lost any significant amount of coolant, we're going to the Perito Moreno Glacier. But if we get to El Calafate and we have lost coolant, then we're just gonna carry on straight to Chile and see if we can get to Puerto Natales, because our pump is in and we want to get this fixed up. So that's what we're doing today. Let's go. Ready?
Let's go.
It's that shutter.
I think that might be the pump.
That happened last time.
No leaking yet. Goodbye, Fitz Roy.
Fitzy!
Later, Fitz.
And with that, we put El Chaltén in the rear view. Pushing out onto the open plains of southwestern Argentina felt less like driving and more like setting sail. An ocean of land stretching in every direction. Here, the distances between small islands of civilization are vast, and with so few travelers moving through, help in the event of a full-stop breakdown can feel impossibly far away. This is the life we have chosen, one built on uncertainty. We've learned to live with not knowing, to carry a quiet tolerance of risk. We keep moving until we cannot, and then we figure it out. When we first set out from the north of Canada, I wanted challenge and uncertainty to become familiar companions, not things to fear. Looking back now, I think we've both learned to walk comfortably alongside them both.
Okay, so we just reached El Calafate, filled up. I checked the coolant and we haven't leaked a drop. The van has stayed totally cool the entire time. So I don't know exactly what is going on. Our friend Airalo that has helped us so much with the transmission and the engine and all that stuff, he told us that likely what is happening is the bushing that fails in the water pumps on these engines heats up and reseals. So we're making our way through that bushing right now. It's starting to fail. Like we said, kind of at the beginning, I think we caught it right as it happened. So we probably have a lot of kilometers left, which is really great, which means we can make it to Perito Moreno Glacier and then into Chile, likely with no issues. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're just gonna head to the glacier today. We have changed our minds on going to the glacier tonight. Instead, we're going to camp and go tomorrow morning so that we can be there with fewer people. A most excellent plan.
The next morning, we woke early and hit the road immediately to get to the gate in an effort to beat the crowds. Not long after departing camp, we were catching sights of icebergs in the lake and then, eventually, Perito Moreno Glacier itself.
Yes.
Oh!
That did that thing to me. That was a big chunk.
It turns out watching glaciers calve is kind of like waiting for volcanoes to erupt. The difficulty is you'll never know when it'll happen, but in this case, you have the added challenge of where it'll happen, We spent hours waiting in anticipation for a big calf, and I managed to miss 3 until finally one happened exactly where I was pointing the camera. Pretty good luck, I'd say.
Well, somehow, I don't know how, we haven't lost any more coolant, which means that we're continuing on to Chile, and we're going to try and make it to Puerto Natales, either, I don't know, tonight or tomorrow, and then Punta Arenas if we have no further problems. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not mad about it.
And then, back out into the ocean-like plains we went, continuing south towards our next destination, the southern sliver of Chile that contains Torres del Paine National Park and Tierra del Fuego. The end is coming at us pretty quick. The next time we see Argentina will be as we make the last few kilometers towards the end of the road. With a brief pause in our travels to receive our new parts and fix the van, we'll be back at it next week. And as always, we're excited for what's ahead, but ever ready to deal with whatever twist the road throws at us. Thank you for being here along with us on this journey. We hope in some way we sparked your curiosity. Maybe you even learned something. At the very least, we hope we showed you a world worth exploring, worth protecting and valuing. Now get out on that next big adventure and make the memories that stick with you, shape you, and change you. Until the next one, keep on roaming. If you would like to see behind the scenes content, get route and camp spot information, or if you'd just like to help support us by putting some gas in our tank each month, you can contribute on Patreon or through memberships on our YouTube channel. And oh hey there bud, before you go, don't forget to go on over to slowroamers.com to get yourself some rad Slow Roamers merch. Looks real good on ya, believe me. We've even got some new stickers and stuff in there for ya. For additional photos and commentary on our journey, you can follow along on Facebook and Instagram. Well, Argentinian Patagonia. You're just stunning, let me tell ya. I'd marry ya if I wasn't already married. That's weird. Okay, bye.
Alrighty, well, that's it for Argentina for another, I don't know, week or week and a half or so. It's been good here in Argentina. Absolutely beautiful. We're stoked for Torres del Paine National Park, which is ahead, and a bunch of veggie repairs. So before we go, we just want to shout out Kami. A little birdie told us that it's your birthday soon, so happy birthday from the Slow Roamers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see the rest of you next week. Later.
Oh gosh, is it safe enough? Oh. Hey, wait. Hold it over your head.
What?
Hold it over your head for the gods.
Sacrifice to the metal gods. Yeah.
Sit on me. Did you see that?
Oh gosh. Do you need help? Andy rock climbs, everybody.
Go me. All right, we're heading back down. 10 kilometers to beer. Let's go.